Lucius Annaeus Seneca was a Roman statesman and historical philosopher who recognized that if we want to live well, we must be constant students of the greatest of all things, life itself. In his moral essay on the shortness of life, Seneca offers us an urgent reminder about the non-renewability of our most important resource, our time. So, having this in mind, here are 10 of the most important lessons on time management extracted from Seneca's writings. Number 1. Treat time as a commodity. Seneca says that many people are economical in protecting their personal properties, but when it comes to wasting time, they are extremely extravagant. We are talking about something that we should treat with frugality. Seneca warns that we don't value time as a valuable resource, even though it is possibly our most precious and least renewable asset. Imagine seeing someone very rich throwing money in the street. Surely, you would consider that person crazy. However, we see ourselves and others wasting something much more valuable every day: our time. The quantity we have is uncertain, but certainly limited. It is clearly more absurd to waste time than money because, unlike money, we cannot obtain more of it when it runs out. To realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who gave birth to a premature baby. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of a weekly newspaper. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask the person who just missed a flight. To realize the value of 1 second, ask the person who narrowly escaped an accident. To realize the value of 1 millisecond, ask the person who won the silver medal in the Olympic Games. Although the amount of time we have is uncertain, one thing is certain: this time is limited. Death lurks for time wasters, those who assume that time is cheap. When used properly, time becomes an amplifier, but when spent without consideration, it becomes a persistent source of regret. Number 2. Do not invest all your time in the future. According to Seneca, those who dedicate all their time to their own needs, planning each day as if it were the last, neither yearn for nor fear tomorrow. We are all guilty of spending too much time preparing for the future. Seneca urges us to live in the present, not to postpone our happiness, and not to think that happiness lies in the future. Our future is uncertain and beyond our control. The future life we work for may never arrive. We are so busy and concerned with the future that we often let the present pass unnoticed or unenjoyed. And then, when we are old and on our deathbed, we finally realize how short and valuable life is, and we are left with regret for not having made the most of it when we could. In the middle of a desert dying of thirst, if you come across a stream of water but are not sure when it will stop flowing, would you not drink as much as you could? Just like water, we should make the most of our time, make the best of our present. Our 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond deserve to be planned, but do not let them take away your precious present. You can only live one moment at a time, and you can only live once. So choose to live in the present moment. Number 3. Live life for yourself. You should not think that a man has lived long because he has gray hair and wrinkles. He has not lived long. He has existed for a long time. We all have specific things we want in our lives, whether it's a dream job, a dream house, or a dream relationship. However, Most of us do not come close to achieving many of these things because we are stuck in a job we can't stand just to pay the bills, or in a relationship we pretend to love because we don't want to be alone. We simply let life pass us by. And in today's world, there is so much that comes at us that we deceive ourselves by saying we don't have enough time to experience new activities. Being busy with things we don't enjoy is the greatest distraction and leads us to live a mediocre life. We go through life day after day fulfilling our obligations, but we are absent from ourselves, confusing doing with being. The best way to invest your time is by investing in creating a life that you love. If you don't know what you love or what you want, ask yourself these questions. If I had more time, what things could I do? If I could change something now, in my environment or in myself, what would it be? You may end up realizing that you want to change jobs, get in shape, or pursue a new hobby. Number 4. Practice the premeditation of evils. As we learn from Seneca, while we waste our time doubting and procrastinating, life goes on. Procrastination occurs when there is a conflict between the immediate gratification of impulses, such as doing nothing and wasting time, and the long-term commitments, such as completing a sales report. Often, the part that wins is the pursuit of immediate pleasures. Psychologically, this is known as temporal inconsistency. Although doing meaningful work over the years is more important to most of us than procrastinating, the human brain has an ingrained bias for what is here now. However, Seneca offers an effective and straightforward method to combat this: premeditatio. The idea behind it is to ask yourself before doing something, what could go wrong? It is a form of negative visualization. Once you have identified the distractions or problems, you can plan solutions around them by preparing in advance, recognizing the distractions ahead of time, and responding to them by setting a suitable time, place, and conditions. You can avoid the pull of immediate impulses. By preparing and programming in advance what you want to do and committing to it, you are 2 to 3 times more likely to follow through. Number 5. Make long-term rewards immediate. According to Seneca, putting things off is the biggest waste of life because it steals every day as it comes and denies us the present by promising us the future. The biggest obstacle to living is the expectation. Our need to procrastinate is strongest at the beginning of a task. Even if you have eliminated all distractions and are ready to start working at 8 a.m. as planned, your brain will still have a strong attraction to find an excuse to do something easier. The key here is the expectation. What we crave when we want to postpone something we know will benefit us. This is the gap between immediate impulses and long-term rewards. The reason it is often difficult to start something is that there is no expectation of an immediate reward. Sometimes the reward is years in the future. However, if you can make the reward immediate, you will have a good reason to start. For example, if you procrastinate by watching YouTube videos, you can make a deal with yourself that you will not be allowed to watch YouTube until you have completed a certain amount of work. This way, you reward yourself by completing the unpleasant task. Number 6. Make the most of your free time. As Seneca says, it is not that we have a short life, but that we waste much of it. Life is sufficiently long, and we have been given a generous amount to achieve great accomplishments. As long as it is invested wisely, We all work hard to earn two things: money and free time that we can dedicate to leisure activities. We work 8 to 9 hours a day to earn free time, while we waste that hard-earned free time on irrelevant things like drinking at a bar with co-workers or friends, watching television shows, or simply chatting by the water cooler. Stop and say no more to wasting the free time you have earned. Even if you enjoy your daily work, try to minimize the time spent working. You will never get those extra hours back. They are gone forever. You can start a reading group in the office that meets during lunch, on weekends, or in the evenings when you have plenty of free time. Make the most of that free time by meditating, reading, exercising, or writing in a journal anything that can add value to your life. If you want to escape mediocrity and start living your life, then start making the most of your free time. Number 7. Dedicate time to reflect on your past. Seneca informs us that life is too short and filled with anxiety for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. Time is divided into 3 parts: the present, which is transient; the future, which is uncertain; and the past, which is unalterable. All modern teachings on time management tell us to focus on the present with an eye toward the future. Everyone focuses on the uncertain and transient. However, Seneca tells us to pay attention to our past. If we want to extend our life, we must have enough self-awareness to remember the lessons of our past and be more effective today. When we stop and truly think, examining who we were in the past and what made us that person, it is quite enlightening. Reflecting on the past and engaging in introspection benefits the soul. It helps us be present and understand the changes that have occurred within us. It also gives us a clear and focused insight into who we are today and who we want to be tomorrow. It also helps us take responsibility and control over ourselves and our actions. Sometimes it can be challenging to see how far we have come, especially if we compare ourselves to others. However, dedicating time to reflect on the past gives us space and time to see how far we have come in life. Number 8. Stop wasting time on life's trivialities. As we learn from Seneca, if people want to know how short their life is, they should reflect on how small a portion of it they devote to themselves. We are all guilty of spending too much time on trivial matters. More and more time in our days is spent looking at screens, scrolling through status updates. How often do we find ourselves devoting our time to purposeless activities beyond the pursuit of monetary and social gains? Casually playing a video game with no particular merit is wasting time. Time that could be used to develop a useful skill, exercise, or enrich ourselves with literature, art, or music. The same can be said of social media and other forms of entertainment. Social media, in particular, is designed and optimized to consume your time. If people came to you all day long asking for $20, you would turn them away. But throughout the day, people come to you in person, through phone calls, emails, or even text messages, asking for your time, and you simply give it away. We should be committed to living for ourselves, at least most of the time. The person who says yes to every request will soon find that they have no time for themselves and that they are living for others, not themselves. Those who are happy fill their time with valuable and meaningful activities according to their own vision of life. Number 9. Invest your time in creating new memories. If you give money to a rich man, he will try to double his money by investing in places where he will get the maximum return. Likewise, we should all invest our time wisely, and the best returns we can get with our time are by investing in creating new memories and in philosophy. Seneca tells us that memory is more lasting than pain. We spend so much time pursuing things that make our already short life even shorter, such as luxuries and leisure activities, only to later regret not having truly lived when we grow old. One of the enemies of happiness is adaptation, says Dr. Thomas Gilovich, a psychology professor at Cornell University who has been studying the relationship between money and happiness for over 2 decades. Gilovich and other researchers have found that memories of life experiences, no matter how fleeting, provide longer-lasting happiness than material possessions. Memories shape our thoughts, actions, and decisions, shaping who we are. You can start creating new memories by taking on new challenges, spending time with loved ones, traveling, and seeking new opportunities. We are not our possessions. We are the accumulation of everything we have seen, the things we have done, and the places we have been. Number 10. Seek balance. Balance is a fundamental principle in Seneca's philosophy, who believed in the importance of a balanced and harmonious life. He teaches us that time well spent should not be limited solely to work and relentless productivity. It is essential to set aside time for self-care, nurturing relationships with family and friends, pursuing personal interests, and enjoying moments of rest and relaxation. In the pursuit of balance, Seneca encourages us not to become slaves to work or daily responsibilities. He reminds us that life should not be lived solely in the service of obligations and tasks, but rather as a full and gratifying experience. By setting aside time to take care of ourselves, we invest in our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. This may involve activities such as exercise, meditation, reading, or any other form of self-development and self-reflection that helps us know ourselves better and find inner balance. Furthermore, cultivating meaningful relationships with family and friends is a source of emotional support and human connection essential to our happiness and well-being. Spending time with loved ones, sharing moments of joy, engaging in deep conversations, and offering mutual support nurture affectionate bonds and strengthen our support network. Hobbies and activities that bring us pleasure and satisfaction are also crucial for a healthy balance. By setting aside time for our interests and passions, we stimulate our creativity, nurture our curiosity, and find a source of personal fulfillment outside the demands of daily life. Lastly, rest is vital for recharging our energies and avoiding burnout. Allowing ourselves moments of relaxation, whether through a good night's sleep, nature walks, moments of contemplation, or simply taking breaks during the day, helps us restore our physical and mental balance, renewing our capacity to face daily challenges. In conclusion, seeking balance involves recognizing that time well spent goes beyond mere productivity. It encompasses caring for ourselves, connecting with loved ones, pursuing personal interests, and getting adequate rest. This quest for balance allows us to enjoy a fulfilling and meaningful life, avoiding time wastage, and finding harmony in all areas of our lives. These 10 lessons on time management from Seneca's writings remind us of the importance of valuing and making the most of our limited time on earth. They encourage us to prioritize, focus on the present moment, reflect on the past, invest our time wisely, and seek balance in all aspects of life. By incorporating these principles into our lives, we can cultivate a deep appreciation for time and live more fulfilling and meaningful lives. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving a like and subscribing. Stay focused. Be happy.